Hey yo, what's good guys? Welcome back to Anime Max. Today's topic, Bartholomew Kuma, is a man with frankly too many connections. Shrouded in layers over layers of mysteries, he is the type of person who is involved with different factions all across the world of One Piece. Whether it be pirates, tyrants, the world government, or even the Revolutionary Army, he is everywhere. From the moment he appeared in the story, everything he says holds importance, and every time we think that we are done with this story, we are greeted in typical One Piece fashion with yet another reveal about him that completely warps our perception. He first appeared in the story way back in Thriller Bark arc when we see him discussing some government matters with another warlord of the sea. As he is also a warlord of the sea, we saw him for a brief moment back in the Mocktown arc where he was one of the few warlords present at the meeting called by the world government. He didn't say anything at all, but even from his appearance and size, we knew even back then that he was going to be one of the most mysterious individuals in the story. Now rolling forward to the Thriller Bark arc, Kuma came to warn Gecko Moria about Luffy that he is a dangerous upstart. He told him about how he defeated Crocodile back in Alabasta and even one of the Navy's most trusted assassins, Rob Lucci. Later, he attacks the Straw Hat crew and completely crushes everyone on the island after they are all exhausted from fighting against Gecko Moria. Zoro and Sanji hold down the last defense line, and it all ends with Zoro absorbing all of Luffy's pain, resulting in one of the most epic scenes in the entire series. After all that, he mentions the name of Monkey D. Dragon, which gives room to speculate that he might be acquainted with him. His next appearance in the show is during the Sabaody arc, when he appears out of nowhere while the Straw Hats are getting completely thrashed by Kizaru and seemingly kills them. However, it is soon proven to be false as they are all transported to different places in the world where they can hone their skills and get stronger to face the challenges in the New World, the second part of the Grand Line. This gave us even more proof that he was much more than just a warlord of the sea. Kuma's next appearance was even more surprising when he appears after time skip, completely tattered and unable to form complete meaningful sentences. Frankie, one of the Straw Hats, finds him near their ship, the Thousand Sunny, and finds out that he has been guarding it for 2 years. He says some weird stuff there, like his final mission has been achieved, and goes back to where he came from. It is clear that he has been through some very traumatic stuff for helping the Straw Hats 2 years ago. After this, Kuma surprisingly doesn't appear for a long time in the manga. His next appearance is in the Reverie arc where he is seen being treated brutally as a slave by the Celestial Dragons. Then finally, Kuma recently resurfaced in the series as we see that he is connected to Vegapunk. For many years, we thought that he was just the government's dog as he always is doing their bidding. But Kuma, before becoming a cyborg, had much more to his character as he has been referred to as Tyrant Kuma on multiple occasions. Apparently, he has been acquainted with Vegapunk since before joining the world government ranks, as a recent flashback sheds light on the fact that he can even manipulate memories. From what we know about him, he was modified by Vegapunk to become a complete cyborg that would obey the world government without asking a single question. We don't know the reason for that yet, but he has become a much more robotic and mindless entity since the time skip, attributing to the experiments done on him. Recently, he was saved by Revolutionary Army as they attacked the Holy Land of Marijois to save their friend, Kuma, from the tyranny of the Celestial Dragons. They all regrouped at their base and then something weird happened. Kuma started acting differently and transported himself with his power to the Red Line. He got there and started attacking the people in the port town while making his way to the Holy Land of Marijois. Kuma began his climb up the Red Line, and that is what the recent chapters have unfolded so far. On the flip side of it, one of the supernovas, Jewelry Bonnie, roams the very Egghead Island hunting Vegapunk. She claims to be the daughter of Kuma and is really sad about her father's current sorry state. She was also present at Reverie when she came to save her father. Now, in the current Egghead arc, she is seen with the Straw Hats trying to find Vegapunk since he is the one who did all of that horrible stuff to her father. She flashes back to some of her fond memories with her father and even finds a room full of Kuma's memories. However, Vegapunk is adamant about telling her what happened to Kuma since he apparently promised the guy himself to not tell his daughter anything about him. However, the latest news is that Bonnie is about to open up the Pandora box of her father's memories. Before we talk about what his potential role in the story may be, let us talk a little about his powers first, as this is one of the most important factors about his personality. Bartholomew Kuma is a strong man, as he is one of the warlords of the sea, and if we know anything about those guys, it's that they are freakishly strong. Other than his giant stature and estimated physical strength, he has one of the most unique and powerful fruits in the entire series. His devil fruit's name is Paw-Paw fruit, and it has a number of different uses. First and foremost, it's referred to as the power to repel things. Anything his hands with paw markings on them touch, he repels. He can repel people, weapons, objects, and practically anything that moves or is tangible. It is seen on full display as Zoro and Sanji's attacks don't work on him at all, as he constantly repels them. Kuma can also shoot multiple projectiles from his hands, which is basically repelling the air. He can use them super fast and is quite adept at this technique. He also has the power to repel people and send them off to wherever he wants them to. It gives the impression that they have disappeared into nothingness, while in fact they are flying through the air. This can be seen when the Straw Hats flew to different islands, and all of those islands were actually places where they could hone their skills, so it's confirmed that he controls where they go. Kuma can also use that power on himself to transport himself wherever he wants to, enabling super fast travel through the seas. His power is also able to turn intangible things into tangible things. At first, it only seemed to work on Pain, as we saw him pulling all the fatigue out of Luffy and giving it to Zoro for him to suffer. But with the recent chapters, it was seen that it also works on memories, as stated by Vegapunk, and as Bonnie found a big paw-like thing in Vegapunk's lab. Even with all of that, he has iron tough skin to top it all off. It's so tough that Sanji sprained his leg when trying to hit it, and even Zoro's swords couldn't crack it. He is pretty much one of the strongest warlords in the series. Kuma is not only one of the strongest people alive right now, he is also important to the government in other things. First and foremost, he follows orders like 95% of the time, so he's a pretty handy tool to have. Secondly, he is able to fast travel anywhere, and that makes him very versatile and adds to his utility. Not to mention the fact that after his reprogramming, he is a complete slave of the government as well. And even after all that, he gave them one of their most important cards to play, in the form of pacifistas. Pacifistas are mindless clones of Bartholomew Kuma. All of them are robots designed by Dr. Vegapunk under the complete control of the Navy. They have the same ability as one of the admirals, Kizaru Borsalino, and are able to shoot lasers from their mouths. During the Sabaody arc, they were so strong that it took the entire crew giving it their 100% to beat just one of them. They can be mass-produced and are all war machines who can easily turn anything to ash in the first half of the Grand Line. They were even used as a trump card by the ex-Marine Fleet Admiral Sengoku during the Paramount War against the strongest man in the world, Government Whitebeard. They played a pivotal role in the war and were used to give the Navy a serious advantage, as they shut the pirates off and then used the pacifistas to cause mayhem on everyone with nowhere to run. Whitebeard had come up with some insane planning to bypass them and get to the Navy. They are not strong if we're talking about the level of the New World, as the monster trio separately killed 2 pacifistas in one shot, but they are still a force to be reckoned with, and all of this was possible because of Bartholomew Kuma. Vegapunk revealed the model of the ancient giant like sculptor present on his island. He revealed that it is someone from the Void Century. It was also revealed that it almost climbed up the Red Line, but failed in the end. Vegapunk tried to recreate that, but failed as he didn't have enough energy for it. Maybe Kuma was part of the experiments, and he was the one who became the centerpiece for his research. He may have been just another attempt close at creating that giant. That's why it is in his primal instinct to climb the Red Line. It is evident from the fact that now that he has lost all semblance of sanity, Kuma is climbing the Red Line as a last-ditch mechanism. This is also supported by the fact that Vegapunk is not telling Bonnie about this, as Kuma might have some shady history. I mean, he was called a tyrant and all. Maybe Kuma used to be a kind king, but was given the title of a tyrant. To save himself from the humiliation and insanity, he became a pirate and worked as a warlord. But after he couldn't control himself, he gave his memories away and became a complete robot. This is definitely too painful for a daughter to hear, and that's why he doesn't want Bonnie to know. All in all, Kuma is one of the most interesting characters of the series, with so many layers and mysteries that Oda has piled in his character for us to theorize about and unravel. He's a fascinating character, and we're sure that his eventual backstory will tie in many plot points, while also being one of the saddest backstories that stands tall even amongst the already sad backstories of the One Piece world. Well, that's it from our side. If you have any more interesting theories, do let us know down in the comments. We would love to hear from you. And if you enjoyed this video, drop us a like and subscribe to the channel and ring that notification bell to be notified of any latest updates. With that said, we'll see you in the next one. Peace.